Hi, I'm Kylie and I play Chionubis, and this is what happened in episode 3. As Rufa, Matthias, and Chionubis make their way to Eloise at the Sleeping Goblin and Orc camp, the same trap that assaulted Matthias earlier launches at Chionubis. Thankfully, Rufa elegantly spins her out of the way as it just barely grazes her. They finally arrive at the camp, hidden behind the tree line. And upon seeing them, Eloise scans the camp for fire starting supplies. On the same wavelength, Rufa also notices the possibility for a fiery ambush and watches Eloise make her way to the center of camp. She successfully acquires the oil and dumps it all over the camp, including a few mysterious lumps, all the while encouraged by a familiar voice in her head which says, "My dear hero, look how they sleep. To save the villains, let them drown deep." As she sparks the fire, everything erupts in flames, including those mysterious lumps which turn out to be hobgoblins and a few bombs. All the present adventurers need to duck out of the way to avoid the explosion. Matthias grabs Chionubis, who then gracefully leaps off of it, and they both land in a complimentary heroic pose. Eloise grabs a large shield and uses the momentum of the explosion to jettison away from danger. Rufa quickly darts behind the nearest tree, only to peek out in curiosity. Meanwhile, back a ways, Ilona, Woodwort, Mush, Morel, and Zoshmaru await a signal while passing the time. Woodwort reveals that the back of his shield has a game board for Run Amok, real-world checkers on the back of it, which he and Ilona delightfully play. Suddenly, out of the woods, they hear an explosion and fiery tendrils illuminate from where their friends disappear to. Upon seeing this, Woodwort and Mush run off in the opposite direction as Morel, Zoshmaru, and Ilona rush into potential peril. Woodwort, upon realizing what he was doing and remembering that Rufa still had those sweet buns, barrels around a corner, changing directions and encouraging Mush to save their friends. Back at the camp, the sleeping orcs and goblins have taken massive damage, but 3 remain. Eloise sneaks behind her shield and shoots grim tendrils through all of them, eliminating 1 hobgoblin. Chionubis drops her awkward hero pose with Matthias, knocks an arrow, and shoots a second hobgoblin in the throat. Matthias, a little too enraptured by Chionubis, gets back in the game as he runs at the enraged orc and fillets him, seemingly to death. But he's still in a frenzy and clings to life. Rufa aims at the orc with his slingshot and takes him out, ricocheting his rock off of Eloise's shield and striking the orc in the head as he's about to crush Matthias. With the enemies now vanquished and the rest of the party caught up, the adventurers start dispersing the fires and searching for information. Rufa discovers a collection of papers spared by the fire and written in Orcish. Chionubis finds a tear of cloth from Larian Voss, which she quickly pockets as Rufa approaches her to decipher the Orcish writing. The papers include a letter with orders and a map. The orders mention a General Korokos and Chief Nortal of the Black Spear tribe, signed off by Champion Xanakin. The gist of the rest of the papers detail battle plans for assaulting multiple small towns in the area with weapons from a Goblin Bloodthink tribe, and the Red Rock tribe will stay in reserves for the final push. When Chionubis relays this to the rest of the adventurers, she and Rufa get into a polite squabble over the information, as Chionubis neglects to mention all of it and read the map, and in fact hides it. This builds a tension in the group, but they ultimately decide to camp for the night and journey on the rest of the next day. They take shifts for overnight watch. The first is Matthias and Eloise, who discuss the little octopus plushie she talks to on her shoulder, that she refers to as her friend. Eloise mentions it was her friend's idea to start the fire, and it doesn't like Matthias very much. It utters to her, "Some gifts that come are horses filled with lies. Friends are temporary, as heroes stand alone. Their victory, their prize." As Rufa and Chionubis start their shift, Rufa tells the tale of a selfish bard, hoping to encourage Chionubis to come forward with the letter, but she refrains. At the end of their shift, she rouses Matthias and tells him about the map. She convinces him that they can use the map to find his mother, but they can't tell any of the others. She then confides in him that she's in truth looking for Larian Voss and insists to Matthias that he will have more information on Lydia. Woodwort, Mush, and Zoshmaru start their shift and immediately hit it off as Zoshmaru discovers that Woodwort knows how to make alcohol. He encourages Woodwort to join the Brotherhood of the Dogs when this is all over, whenever that may be. Finally, this last shift includes Ilona and Morel. Ilona discusses with Morel how worried she is that the adventurers aren't immediately reporting back to Isawo and Vanessa Bond. But Morel talks to her about his disdain for authority. He asks her why she left Or, and she relays that she was sent on a quest directly from Aphra to find something or someone for her. Upon learning this, Morel confesses that religion is new for him as it is frowned upon in Acadia, and he finds himself lost in methods of worship. But Ilona encourages him to worship how he sees fit. Uncomfortable by all this, Morel starts to regress back to his time stationed in Or. He mentions following orders, a woman whose name he can't remember, and then runs off back to camp. Ilona, thoroughly confused, finishes the shift alone as she feels the chuckle of Aphra teasing her from above. And that is where we end episode 3 of Edge of Legend. Make sure to tune in 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time to Nat20 Productions official on Twitch to catch the newest episode of Edge of Legends as they happen. We look forward to seeing you in chat as you become legends right beside us, and thanks for watching. Bye guys!